Hi, welcome back to the garden today. I'm going to talk to you today about the solstice, which I'm sure you're all so sick of hearing about. So what I decided to do is to just pull some cards for what my world of cards said we need to know about the solstice. So, we always work with the inner child cards, and I decided to pull, I didn't decide, it pulled itself, the Seeker of Hearts, which is the Tin Man in Dorothy's story. And what the Tin Man ultimately means to us is that we need to be the seeker of hearts and find a way to uplift friends and relatives in trouble. As a warrior of universal love, we have a special gift and a spirit to offer to every person we meet on our path of life. And he goes with Dorothy on the yellow brick road. They're on a journey, and I think we often negate our hearts. And I think today has been a day when people had to look not only at their hearts, but at their spirit. And hearts will never be practical until they can be unbreakable, he suggests. But really, our hearts can be broken and we can repair it. Our heart is not judged by how much you love, but how much you are loved by others. And we are going into a period where our society is going to understand that that's what's more important about being a part of our world. When the Tin Man appears, he is more open-hearted. Rejoice at your opportunity to experience the expansion of your heart and your spirit. And that's what going into the air signs and Jupiter and Saturn moving together and conjuncting tonight mean. And even more interesting was I pulled another card from my little decks about what's going on today, and I got integration. And what that is it's in sacred geometry. It's this it's a pattern of the divine masculine and the pattern of the divine feminine joined together. And the frequency of the integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative, but to put them together in a harmonious way, which is really what we need to do. We do not need to live with the incredible intense duality of light and dark, but we need to integrate it all. Look at how gorgeous those colors are. The golds, the reds, the blues, and just the things shining in it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful card for today because that's what we need to do. I'm not great at these words, but the Seer Yanta is an ancient symbol that came to mean sacred instrument. It is formed by the interlocking of the masculine and the feminine. And so that's really, I'm glad that that one showed up because that's really true. When you look at Jupiter and Saturn, and I look at it from the years that I've been watching charts come and go and things come and go, that's really what's happening here. And we're changing from the duality of Earth, of black and white, hold, not have not, all of those things. We are moving towards a way of integrating our power and our personal energy in a way that will make it more useful for us. And the last card I wanted to pull today was from my crystals deck, the crystal reading cards, and I got the ruby, which means to shine. And ruby means to dissolve deep trauma and grief within the body and allow you to love yourself through the challenges of our life, enhances passion in all areas of life, deepens your sensual aspects of self, allowing you to receive and flow the life force of energy and creativity. It helps recognize the source of an inexplicable fear or anxiety so that you don't need to deal with them because they're not really real. It's connected to the sacral chakra, which is where creativity comes from. And the oracle says to us, the ruby gives you permission to shine your light into the world and to know that you are amazing. So I think that's also what this shift is going to show us, that we all are amazing and everyone has a right to shine their light and to move forward and to move forward with grace. I can't tell you how much, just in the brief time I've been doing this, like less than 2 weeks, how much it's come to mean to me to be able to speak with you on YouTube and to read your responses and to see people that I'm helping and I'm touching. So we're going to go now to our 9 sacred candles, because it's that day too. And this, I just don't have enough room on my desk. But we're going to light the 9 candles. And not 9, I'm going to light up to 5. And as you know, these candles are being placed so that today, on the day of the solstice, we are halfway to using these candles. So the first 3 I lit in darkness. When dark was the sun was getting less bright each day, and our days were getting shorter. And the 4th day. And then the 5th day is the bridge day. And in the tarot, there's a card where a woman's running across a bridge, running for her life. And I always it's called the Bridge of Despair, because so many things have driven her to feel that way. So we've now lit 5 of the candles. So we're more than halfway across the bridge of time that connects us to the end. This is the day when it's equal in the southern hemisphere, and this is the shortest day of the year here. Now it's the longest day of the year in the southern hemisphere and the shortest day here. So it's the darkest day, and then we will light 4 candles, lighting out over the next few days to bring us to the light. I've had some people question me and ask me, why didn't start it on the day you started it? This is not a solstice tradition. You can do 9 red candles whenever you want to bring through intentions of prosperity. And my intention with using these 9 red candles is to have prosperity and growth happen in my garden, which you can help by sharing, liking my channel, and contacting me and letting me know questions and answers you might want to do, and also to subscribe. I think I have about a little over 700 subscribers now, which is really good, I think, for the short time I've been on. And I want you to use the light of these candles to also enlighten your prosperity. Think about how your roots can grow, and think about the things you need to prosper, because that's important to all of us, that we all are in a period of growth together. Like I said in the cards I pulled randomly from my decks, this is a time of integration, of balancing our energies, of not having to fight the light and the dark, but to have both. And I'm hoping we can do that. Now I'm going to blow the candle out, and then I have one more message for someone who wrote me about my crystal grids, which I have a great deal of fun making, but I am going to take a little Christmas break, so I will not be doing readings or crystal grids until after New Year's. But someone commented, I talked about Ancestor Stones, and I picked Ancestor Stones that I know people can relate to the fact that they were a plant or they were an animal. Now there are some people, they think they're called stromatolites, but they're in the ocean, and they're the oldest life form we know. And when they die, their little outer shell does get calcified, but it's like millions and millions of them. There's also microscopic bits of life forms that have been calcified into rocks. Those are a little tough to fit onto grids. And then there's dinosaur bones. Well, those are bones, and yes, they have been filled up to make their form whole, but those are a little tough to fit on grids. But there are a lot of different life forms that I neglected to bring up because they just don't fit on the grids. And it's not just because they're not pretty or shiny, but it's because they just don't fit on the grids. Now, I'm going to show you one last form. This is called Corporalite. And this is what it looks like. It's a little tiny calcified, filled in piece of dinosaur dung. That's what it's called, Coprolite, and it is something scientists take apart and they look and they see what the dinosaurs ate. That's one way we know who ate what. But to the guy who said, I should use all the other grids that animals leave behind, I'm afraid if I put this on someone's grid, they might take offense to the message. So I'm not going to do that. I keep it as a curiosity. A good friend gave it to me, and it's my grandson's fascinated by it. So anyway, I hope you will continue to watch my channel. I hope you will continue to learn about crystals and stones. I don't have a ruby to show you to match the ruby I pulled from the deck, but I do want us all to have a blessed transformational time that we're going through now, to bless us to going into the holidays, and for everyone to stay safe. And other than that, can't think of too much else. I'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to show some basic programming a crystal. So I look forward to speaking with you then. Thank you very much.